Good evening, happy peeps.
Hi
Well, I'm
there.
happy because this
Hi,
nightmare of the season. Yeah, we're live, partner. I'm good.
I'm gonna greet
good.
like this from now on.
How's everyone doing? How's everyone? Is everyone good? Are we well? So I'll start with you, Davino. How are you?
I'm doing great, Devin. What can I say? It feels great to be a champion, and especially
This
after
is how I'm
30
doing.
years. What can I say?
Yo,
Lovely
I
stuff.
have no
Danny
words.
boy,
I have no words.
you
how are you? How are you doing?
easy nah. Nah, going on under the circumstances, life is changing. Liverpool is winning the league and stuff. So, well, the world is changing, eh? And the only way is for you to adapt to this change.
The world is changing, you say.
True.
Well, how about you, big man? How are you?
Yeah.
I'm good, my man. I'm good. A lovely weekend. Finally,
Yeah,
the Premier League is over. My team is in the top three. Got my bronze medal, so we're doing well, bruh. We're doing well.
lovely. Cole, how about you?
I didn't hear the question.
How are you doing? That's all. How are you doing? That's the question.
I'm well. I'm well. I'm as good as can be. Like Roscoe says, every day above ground is a good day.
Lovely stuff, lovely. So let's
I
so
like
let's get
that. I
right
like
into
that.
it. So yesterday we had the final day of the Prem. I'll start with the United
Yeah.
fans. Devin, if it's okay with you, can I start with the United guys?
Save the
I'll
best for
start
last.
with them. I'll start with Dane and we can go around then Dale and then Coleridge. So what did you guys make of yesterday's performance by United? Top four in general. I know it was awesome for you guys because you got third place, and congratulations to that. And where do you think? And then I also want you guys to give me your opinion on where do you think the way forward is now for United as per se. So, Dane, I'll start with you.
Dane or Dale?
Dane, Spaff, can you hear me?
Dane.
And he says you go
didn't hear that
first.
last part not even. Sorry, what did
And
you
he
say?
says you go
That
first.
looks like a picture of Dane there, man.
No, your person don't
Yeah?
know it, but please.
What did you say?
I said, I asked, what did you make of yesterday? Give us your thoughts on yesterday, the game and everything. And where do you think the way forward for
Devin, what did
United
you
is
say?
now that you guys have the Champions League spot?
Yo, they can
Then
play
he
that
asked,
Europa with a breeze now. No pressure. I was nervous yesterday. I was nervous young, for watching that game. Yo, on my nerves. Then again, another penalty. Yo, the critics is heavy on United because of that. But now they can play that Europa with a breeze, man. Everybody's happy about Champions League and stuff. So yeah, now they can attract like players also.
But you
So,
must keep Jesse Lingard
yeah.
there, though.
Lingardinho.
Nah, no, man. You see that guy that made a bet that lost all that money?
On the loss, they lost
think
all that money.
They must bet more on that guy, man.
Dale, now let's come on to you. What did you make of yesterday's game?
Yeah, just like Dane said, it was nervy. It was, yeah, I think that we were very flat once again.
Yeah,
You know, we had the
Europa
conversation
connecting
last
and
week.
Mm.
I was hoping that United would come and just all guns blazing. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's a worrying factor that it was something similar to a final. You know, 3 points was going to give us third spot, was going to give us Champions League, but we didn't play like that. Once again, Marshall, he's lackluster. He's walking. He's not giving his all. Same with all the other players. Bruno Fernandes, his last 4 games, bruh. I don't know if that curse is getting to him slowly but surely, but that Bruno Fernandes of the first 4 or 5 games, I didn't see it yesterday. But I'm happy. I'm happy. I wanted to relax, and enjoy the game. But of course, it was nail biting from the first whistle to the end. But I'm happy with the team. Critics once again with a penalty, but we don't ask for penalties. It's given to us. If you tackle a guy in the box, whatever, you sandwich him, it's a penalty. So yeah, it's just that in the we can relax now. I don't know when the Europa starts again, but it's a week or two that we can relax. But I'm hoping that the team will do a lot better than the last 4 games, or let me rather, yeah, the last 4 games, because we flat. We really flat.
True, I have to agree with you. Look, people can say what they want. We don't
Very
care.
true. Can I add on that quickly? Sorry.
Sure, no problem.
Go ahead, Dan.
Go ahead.
Then go
Like
ahead.
the whole mention of Bruno Fernandes, I think they more made him now as the like the main player. We he was supposed to be a player that was added to the system to see how what he can do to the team. His aspect of as a player to the team, not to be the main player, but the salt that he is in the team. How he makes the team better. But now it looks like all the focus is now on what he does week in, week out. And it's now pressure on Solskjaer to play him because he's the main player. And I don't think he should be the focus as a main player, but as part of the system is what I think. Why
True.
Bruno Fernandes came to United, not to be
Look,
the main player, but
said
to
it.
be one of the important players in the system to make the team go.
True. Cole has said it
Yeah.
before that it looks a bit fatigued as well. Would you take him out of the firing line? Look, I know you guys are leading what last is it last that you saw playing that you saw leading what 5-0 or something like that. Would you rest him for that game just to
Yeah.
obviously he's gonna have a couple of days off now?
No, definitely,
I'm
bro.
glad
You
they're gonna
rest
get
him.
the
You
rest
rest
at
all our
least.
main players. Like you'd actually the starting 11, like since the beginning of or post lockdown, you rest all those players. Like, why
True.
would you want to play all your strong players in a game where we're already leading 5-0? You know what I'm saying? It's
True.
a given we're going on to the next round. So rest all those guys, even if they're off fatigue or they're tired. Then rest him. That gives him what, another 4 or 5 days for the next round. So by all means, give him a break, guy.
Yeah, now look, for me personally, I want to say congratulations. I think the turning point was when Bruno came and he changed everything. People can talk about penalty FC, but for me, the way you get penalties is you have to get into the box, you have to take risks. So that's my opinion on it. And whatever, like if it goes for you, it goes for you. If it doesn't. Cole, your thoughts? What did you make of yesterday?
I'm just happy we got the third place, bruh. Because, like Dale said, that game was on its edge until the last moment. I couldn't even believe Jesse Lingard scored a goal, bruh. Like,
Man,
how crazy is that? That just summed up our whole season. Like, we've been 7th, 8th. I don't know where, bruh, but we third. Just because of our run that we had since, I think it was since January or February. So I'm just happy for the third place, bruh. I'm happy. It sucked that we went out of the FA Cup, though, the week prior, but happy for the third place.
Nice, lovely. And now I'll come on to the champion in this mix here. Now, you know
Lockdown
what?
did us good, eh?
Let's
Sorry,
come
David.
on to you. I will start with your whole season overall. How has it been? What was your turning point? What stood out for you this season for Liverpool? First, give me that, and I have another question that I want to ask you afterwards.
Sure. Okay, if I can describe the season in one word, it's incredible. And a dream, really, it's a dream come true. I think for all fans to see, not just to see a different team live, or Liverpool live the league, but to see a different team other than the usual suspects. And for Liverpool, after 30 years, I mean, it's really an achievement. So, as a fan, I'm really glad that I could finally see them lift the Premier League trophy. So the season has been nothing short of incredible. Yeah. Sorry, Devin. The turning point, I would say, it's difficult to say it was the 3-1 against City, but I think that really motivated us and pushed us on. Sometimes you get that one game that really push you, and I think that was the one game that we can look back to now. Yeah.
No, I have to agree on that one. I think you guys were awesome this year. I don't think anyone can begrudge Liverpool. I know Dane is very vocal about the fact that you guys are, or like Cole would say, you are mashing 2 seasons together.
Yeah.
But this is what I wanted to ask you. Look, I know before the season started, I know you guys set your goal. You were always focused on the league as the main thing. Clearly, you guys prioritize the league over anything in all your competitions. As a Liverpool fan, did you want more out of the season, given that you had such an outstanding year, just with the league being your priority? Why I'm asking this is, did you want maybe a Champions League to go with that, or FA Cup, like maybe your treble, or maybe your 100 points, or that type of thing? Did you want more, or were you just content with it like it was?
I think, yeah, for since Klopp took over, the main target was the Premier League. Anything else would have just been an add-on, would have been a bonus. But I think that Madrid game really shocked us. We thought we had it with a 2-0 and we could have really pushed on. I think a lot of the teams fear Liverpool playing us in Europe. So I think it would have been nice to have, or to still being able to compete in the Champions League now together with the Premier League would have been. I think that would have really shut the United fans up. But yeah.
Which is actually why the reason why I'm asking is I'll come on to Dane, because Dane has been very vocal about regarding Liverpool. And the last time we had a chat with the 3 of us as well, he was very vocal with regards to Liverpool. So Dane, what are your thoughts on Liverpool's season?
Hey?
Okay, look like Dane is walking through the house here.
I think
Spaff, can you hear me? Spaff, look like
Oh,
something
yeah,
out
you
of the
can.
X-Files room.
I think it
Is
moved
the light
closer
on
to
your
the
room?
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, must be. Spaff, can you hear me?
Technical difficulties.
Difficulties. Cole, let's come on to you. What do you make of Liverpool season? You were also very vocal on a pod that we had one Saturday morning. What do you make of
Daily
it?
boy.
I
Yeah.
think they had a good season, bruh. I think they had a good season. The only problem I had was, don't add the Champions League to your this year's thing and say you won 4 when it's actually just 3. That was my only problem, because Liverpool fans were putting stuff on their statuses, on their Facebooks. They're the only team to hold all 4 trophies. Then I'm like, don't mash it up, man. It's not one thing. It's not one season. That was my only problem. But other than that, they had a good season. Like, I agree with Devon. Like, if they didn't win the Premier League, bruh, that would have been another thing. And that was the main priority for them at the end of the day. And if they wanted more, like you said, it would have just only been a bonus at the end of the day. So they should be content with it, because that was the main priority.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of them. Even if it took them almost 30 years, but I'm proud of them.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, also,
Nah,
when I
did take them
saw
30 years. 30 plus.
when I saw the photo of the players posing with the Champions League and the Premier League, I was a bit confused also as to why. Then I tried to make sense of it, because the Champions League season is still running, so we are still the current champions of Europe. You'll still hear the fans singing. "We
That's
are
just
the
because of the
champions."
outbreak, bruh.
Yeah, you see, so it's due to the circumstances, but it's not like, I don't think they are posing with it. I don't think they are posing with it with the sense that we are champions of Europe as well as the current Premier
season.
Yeah.
Or you're just trying to copy another Premier League team, but actually won the Champions League and the Premier League in one season. Are you trying to copy another team that done that?
I think we're trying to aspire, or trying to try to achieve something like that. That's not impossible. I think we have the capabilities of doing that.
Dane, Spaff, what do you make of Liverpool? You are very vocal. I want to hear your thoughts. And how has your brother been since they've won the league?
Seems like these technical difficulties.
Don't you want to relate them to him?
Spaffy boy, don't leave me.
I can't hear you, guys.
Hey, can you hear me?
Relay the message on to him, Devon.
Dan, can you hear me? You can't.
Nothing.
Can't hear. Oh.
Wait, let me call his wife quickly.
Is your mic on?
His wife can sort him out. Hey, what do you
Oh,
make?
yeah, but its sound is going away and it's coming.
That man look frozen.
He does, no?
What?
Wait, let me tell Jade quickly. Come help him.
I'm gonna try something else, man.
Okay, cooler bags.
Okay.
Dale, what did you make of Liverpool? I know you also getting it left, right, and center. Deep fried, extra crispy. What cheese on it from your Liverpool friends?
Nah, but in the beginning, it was like I was hoping that Liverpool was not going to win the league. Well, at least the coronavirus, I was hoping that it was going to end the Premier League. No one's going to win it. Finish and cloud. We'll start again next season. But you actually have to give them credit. They've done an amazing job. They've played well. You Klopp actually arranged a solid team. And if I want to compare, I won't compare manager to manager, but if I compare the players, you can actually like, I would want a certain defender, I'm not going to mention his name, that has a similar price tag, a leader, someone that controls. If that's the Liverpool that I actually, I give credit to. I want a certain player to play like that player, like Virgil, and that's actually where you actually realize that this manager club has done an amazing job, not just with winning the title, but
Yeah.
I was actually very interested in what he had to say, you know.
Yeah. It's breaking up.
Mm.
Don't leave me.
Don't leave me. Can
Dave,
Dane
you still with
hear?
us? Dan, can you hear? Yes,
He put
mute.
himself
That
on mute.
man's about mute his mic,
He
man.
muted himself. But Devon, now you've got your title. Where do you guys think you need to strengthen in your team now?
You know, I was gonna say we need a more creative midfielder, but I honestly believe that the three in Genie, Ox, and Keita, I think the three of them have the potential to be as creative as we think they can be. But it's because of the system I think that Klopp is playing and what he's asking of the midfielders to do. That's why I think they can't really reach that potential or be as creative as they want to be. But I think I've heard of Thiago coming in. I think he can definitely do something there in the midfield for us. Yeah. I think we will be more if he can fit into the system. Because I heard Dane and Dale speaking about Bruno Fernandes. I think United should be wary of having that one player that they rely on. Like we relied on Steven Gerrard all the years. The moment you take him out of the equation, something start to collapse, you know. So when and that's the one thing that Klopp said, he's not interested in stars, he's interested in building a team. So yeah, I think that's basically it, yeah.
Yeah, true. Is Dane with us? Look, we can't hear him. It looks like he's saying something.
He's definitely saying something there.
He is saying something, but we can't hear him. That's actually another thing that I wanted to come on. I see you guys all linked with Thiago Alcantara. But what does that mean now for Genie One album?
They're still having contract talks with him, but I'm really not sure with that one. Really, I hope he stays and fight for his place because competition is good and it can only strengthen the team. But I just hope it doesn't mess with the harmony of the team at the moment.
Of the squad as well. I wanted to hear from Dane actually what he thought about Liverpool, but when eventually he says something, then we'll come on to that. Let's come on to
Davey.
Yeah.
Stop asking questions. Stop asking about our team. Tell us a little bit about Arsenal FC. How are you feeling, my man? Talk to us.
I don't think there was anyone that was more happy that the season ended than me. I was so happy yesterday that it ended. I'm under no illusion that this was a shit show. There's, like I said with Papa, there's players that's stinking out the place that we need to get rid of. I don't think Oteta goes to bed at night dreaming of a defense with David Luiz and Mustafi and Kolasinac at the back. So I'm under no illusion again.
What does
For
he
me,
dream of?
I'm sure he dreams of much better. I don't even think he wants to play the system that he's currently playing with 5 at the back. But because we are so shit, he has to go with that. He has to go with that as well. For me personally, our season was over when Unai Emery fucked up the whole season. I mean, the table doesn't lie for me personally, Dale. We ate for a reason. There's a reason why we've thrown away 21 points from winning positions this year. Arsenal fans can say to me whatever they want about VAR this, VAR that, or whatever. But you can't blame VAR for losing home and away to Brighton. You can't blame VAR for throwing a 1-0 lead away against Wolves. You can't blame VAR for throwing 2-goal leads away against Crystal Palace. You cannot blame VAR for throwing a lead in the last 10 minutes away against Chelsea where you were bossing the game. It's small errors. You can't blame VAR for David Luiz catching on shit, getting 4 red cards, penalties, everything. You cannot blame VAR for that. Do you know what I mean? And the thing with Arsenal is it's the same players doing. It's either one or two. It's the usual suspects with me. For Arteta can improve them how much, he can try whatever. But let's be honest, it's a shit show that's going on there. Every week, it's either Mustafi, it's either David Luiz, it's either Kolasinac. Yesterday, again, it was again a David Luiz or a Rob Holding as well. So I don't know what's going to happen. For me, personally, when we played City, when we played Liverpool, we came with a game plan of sitting back, hoping to eat on the break. The problem I have with that is going into the cup final is that Chelsea have players in their team that can hurt us if we do play like that. So for me, I've always said it. I've said it from time already. I think finishing out of Europa and no European football won't do us any harm. I think we've got a billionaire owner, so don't tell me about the money aspect or whatever. Don't tell me that if you don't play in Europe, then you cannot attract the big players. No one comes to Arsenal to play Europa League. They come to Arsenal because they want to play for Arsenal because it's a big club first and foremost. So don't come to me with that rubbish. That's bullshit. Secondly, and I'll end off by saying that this season. Yeah, no. Look here, Ronald even says we're punching bag. It feels like we have been a punching bag. I feel like I've been in an abusive relationship for the past 9 months. And when Rona hit, I was like, oh, fuck, this shit really has to come back. But for me, if we win the FA Cup this weekend, I'll be gassed. I'll be happy, of course, it's the trophy. But I'm not going to let it cover paper over the cracks that's been showing there in the season. If we don't, I'm not going to be too fussed about it because personally for me, I want to finish out of Europa and that's it.
Okay.
Is that good enough for everyone? Is that good enough?
I think it will benefit all English teams. Sorry, Devin.
No problem.
I think it will benefit all English teams not to be in the Europa.
Yeah, no, like they'll say it's a naughty league, my man.
Yeah.
It's a naughty cup.
Yeah.
Kali,
Sorry.
It's a naughty cup, yeah. It's a naughty cup. But I mean, isn't it good for a club, whether it's a big or small club, to have as many games as possible in different leagues and competitions?
You could say that. You could say that. I hear what you're saying. But for me, again, I'm going to counter that by saying the year that Liverpool had no European football, they competed for the title.
Yeah,
it's true. The year that Chelsea won the title after they ended 11th, the year Chelsea ended 11th in the season, next year with Conte, they won the title. I'm not saying we're going to win the title. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I've told you this.
The chance is better.
Yeah, we can hear you much better now. Do you think, Dale, that Leicester would have been in the hunt for top 4 if they had to play Tuesdays and Wednesdays also as well this season?
Never.
This season?
No.
Yeah, this season.
Nah.
You say?
They wanted that Champions League spot.
Maybe you must remember that you said you were bigger, you were a big club. No? So for a big club, you need to be able to play on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or even a Thursday, and still be able to compete in the league. Because if you're saying, like you say, yes, Arsenal is a big club, and yes, the owner does have money, but the players want to play European football. They want to travel outside of England to play football.
For me, so they had 3 years. sorry to break your word. For me
I think
personally,
I-
that okay, go ahead.
I think that you will still be able to sign big name players because you are a big club, but you are going to sign. It's not going to be as big of a player like a big name, like a branded.
A marquee signing.
Yes.
No,
So
yeah, you fully.
you get a decent player. You can even take Maguire if you want to. But I'm just
No, no,
saying
no, no, no,
that
no, no, no. I got David Luiz. Either
And the talks of Aubameyang that's leaving.
Look, they need to show ambition. They need to show ambition for Oba. It's a simple and plain. Although it's his last contract, what it's the same like with RVP. It's exactly the same thing. He wanted to see ambition. He wants to know that we're going to sign the players to get us competing for the titles that he wants. He wants to win things. It's his last big contract. So if it goes, I wouldn't blame him because then it means that the board isn't showing ambition enough. Then, just to come back to what Carlo has said, we don't need marquee players. For me, you look at Liverpool, and I'm going to base it on the Liverpool model. Robertson came from Hull City, he was 3 million. Gini Wijnaldum came from Newcastle. Sadio Mane came from Southampton. For me, I'm not worried about this fancy player or whatever. You can go get Lewis Dunk of Brighton. I need players to come and do a job. For me personally, players like Mustafi, David Luiz, Kolasinac, Xhaka, they had 4 years, 3 years in Europa to show me what they could do, and they bottled it on every shit show occasion. I don't even want to get into Baku last year. So that's my take on it as well. That's how I feel about it.
I think Klopp came to change the way football is played in England. Firstly, yes, Pep came and changed it with his tiki taka type playing football, passing the ball all the time. But I think Klopp came to England and showed people that you don't need big name players to win. If you have a way of playing football and you can sign players and mold them to the way you play football,
Exactly.
then you don't need big names.
Exactly. By all means, and that, for me,
if they. Sorry, Devin, you can go.
No, you go.
No, I was just gonna say if you can get the players to believe in your system, I think it can work. I think it can work
100%.
really.
That's the most important thing.
100%. Dana, you with us?
I can hear you now. Far better, man.
Much better. Tell the wife we say thank you. But let's move it along. Another issue that raised eyebrows was Jordan Henderson winning Writers Player of the Year. Dale Ospef, one of you can go first. What are your thoughts on that?
What do you say, Dale?
I don't comment on Jordan Henderson. I don't speak about
He's
it.
English, bro.
You can skip me. I don't like the player, so please skip me with that question. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I also don't rate him really, man. But he makes a difference in that team because I can see how they miss him when he's not around. Then that midfield is really, you can see it as a whole. But honestly, as a individual player, I don't see what's the hype about Jordan Henderson. He reminds me of a normal Cardiff player. That average. Nothing world class about him. Just Jordan Henderson. Just another player.
Okay.
Now, look,
from me, look, it's been a difficult season to pick out certain individuals. So I think, and it's difficult for everyone to see on the field how Henderson is playing, but his leadership and what he does in the background, I think, is more beneficial to what he did, and we could see it how he plays or how the team plays when he's around. So I think from that point of view, he's not a Steven Gerrard or Bruno Fernandes, but he's that player that can really lead the team. And even Milner also, I'm surprised the leadership that's in the cloakroom, I would say, in the back. Yeah, that's the difference that they're doing, and I think that is what has been seen by these people that has voted for him. So yeah.
Kegi, with regards to Henderson getting righteous. I don't know. Because that Brana,
But who is that?
like Henderson,
Illegally?
man, like
Oh, Henderson.
his passing, no, has improved a lot from last year. Let's give him that. No? But he doesn't do anything that maybe like Devon says it's the in the cloakroom and just his presence on the field because
So vocal. He's vocal with the players, yeah.
yeah because he doesn't do anything else other than that.
Okay.
He's not gonna give you he's not gonna give you a ball over the top or a crunching tackle. So I understand.
For me also. For me,
Go ahead, Davina, go ahead.
for me, I think those awards, those individual awards, really needs to go to people that has been individually brilliant. I think they're giving it to you based on the way Liverpool performed this season and so on,
Yes.
which for me isn't really fair towards everyone else. That's the same way I felt about Messi winning the Ballon d'Or last season. I don't know.
Popularity contest.
Exactly, you know what I mean. So yeah, it's not really a fair way to win it.
But
Sorry, Kevin, you were
if Jordan Henderson didn't win it, who would you give it to?
Kevin.
KDB or Mane, even for me.
Bro?
But look, I said from the beginning, I said from time already that I wanted.
Danny Ings.
That's a shout as well. He had an awesome season.
Danny Ings.
Look, I've advocated for Jordan. For me personally, people can say yes, KDB has the stats or whichever, but for me, we were the same group that were praising players like Roy Keane, Vieira, and who was there, Rio Ferdinand, for their leadership qualities. They weren't John Terry per se. He wasn't the best player, but we were lauding their leadership years ago. But is it because Henderson is seen as an average player that no one's giving him
low average?
I don't think so, Kale. I think he's added a lot to his game.
Just listen to the names that you just mentioned.
And then you put Henderson in the same sentence.
Leadership qualities and playing style. They were like this, bruh.
Exactly.
Not average player and leadership qualities. So for me, it's like you need to be one. Like, I mean, anybody can be. You can go win an award for being a solid leader. But the names you just mentioned now, you can't compare to those players. Those players had the skill.
The club must give him an award, not the league.
But they were also pro footballers, my man. They were also the difference in a lot of games. There were games where you could rely on Rio, John Terry, and those guys. But for me, there's no wow. Just like Ronald, there's no wow about Henderson.
Yeah, because I mean, if
he has the basic pass and finish. If that is okay, then why was Michael Carrick underrated for so many years? Because he done the same job.
That's a fair.
I mean, if you must pick a team 11, 4-3-3s, for example, and you have to pick 3 midfielders, will he be part of the 3? Yeah, of the Premier League now. You know what I mean? So it's a difficult one.
True. Cole, what are your thoughts?
Even if I had to pick 6,
look, we're all coming. We're all gonna name
on the bench. Turn on the bench.
we're all gonna name our team of the season later. Cole, what did you make of that Henderson and winning Righteous Player of the Year?
Look, I think it was Dale who said it now. There's nothing wow about him. But you can't also look at it in that light because at the end of the day, the guy was doing his job, bruh.
Exactly.
Like, and you can't crit the bruh like that at the end of the day. You can't crit him because he did nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying?
But he did nothing.
He was just doing his job that he was there to do at the end of the day. So you can say De Bruyne or you can name other midfielders, but at the end of his job, at the end of his day, his job wasn't to produce, it was to break down, and he did that. He did it brilliantly.
True. He did. Did an awesome
Like
job.
that whole midfield three of Liverpool, that was their job, is to break down. And that's why I don't think they need a number 10. Like I said it at the beginning of the season when we were watching it at Liverpool Supporters Club, Devin, when you won that bottle. So
Yeah.
I realized in that game, like, this is actually what Klopp is going to do this season. He's going to use that three midfielders and just break down your midfielder, just feed it to that front three any way you know how, and let them do the magic. That's why you see Firmino always dropping in, like he was playing that false 10 role.
Yes. And you see, Carla, I
But
think
as the point to Jordan Henderson, like he was doing a great job, bruh. He was doing a great job.
there's also a lot more to his game, and I think for the rest of our midfield also, they can do a lot more. But I think it's because of the system that we're playing that I think they're holding back a bit, because I'm sure we want more assists coming from the midfield.
True. But then again, now I'm
I
going to
think
pose
we're
the
all
question.
just
If
used
not
to.
Henderson,
I think we're all just used to a midfielder with flair to add something extra. So it's very difficult that we actually take note of Henderson. So that's why it irritates the living out of me. Like, oh, that man, he just does the basics. You do something,
Basics.
you know.
Basics.
Don't just pass the ball in. Lift up a Champions League trophy and a Premier League trophy. Show me something, man. That's my thing.
I thought I was going to get love here for Jordan, but it doesn't look like it. So then again, who would you all have as player of the season if not Jordan?
Player of the season.
Yeah, if not Jordan. Titan, who would you go for?
God. I'm still on KDB, man. I still think KDB.
You didn't say Bruno.
IDB, bro. What's that 20 assists this season?
Yeah.
Equal on the Reese record, no?
Yeah, equal on the reason.
What is it? 20 assists.
20
Hands
assists,
down.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Davino, you?
The guy was brilliant.
I'm gonna go for individual brilliance. Kevin De Bruyne.
KDB
Player
as
of the
well.
season, Danny Ings. Your time, tough one then, huh?
The guy was brilliant. And he made a bet with Salah, no? He said he was gonna be he's gonna score more goals than Salah.
Yes, they made a bet. Yeah, I think he was. That's why.
Danny Ings, yeah.
That's why. And Ings and Salah before he left Liverpool. Yeah, they had a sort of a bet that they made between each other who was gonna score more goals.
Yo.
No, but he had an awesome season though. Cole, who would you have as player of the year?
For me, I don't know who to pick between. I'll put it. I'll actually give it to KDB because he was just quiet, irrespective of City.
Yeah,
He was just quiet this season. And if I remember correctly, he was out injured as well. And he still managed to rack up all those assists. You know?
Kali, you?
But like I said, at the end of the day, I can understand why they gave it to Henderson. Like, he did his job, even though as basic as it might sound. Like, if you do your job, you no one can crit you for it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That man got the magic, and that man got magic on that feed.
Okay, Cole, I hear what you're saying. He did his job. I get what you're saying. But do your job with
I can't hear you, Nico.
Like Henderson did his job right enough. But throw in like a bitchy flair. Like just like a itsy. Throw in something.
There was more players doing their job.
Like I get employed as a sweeper. I just sweep. I don't even dust the bits here. I just sweep.
Imagine you paint the walls. Imagine you paint the walls.
Do something extravagant.
Yeah, I'll never look at football now the same, painting a wall and dusting. But okay.
Kali, log off, man. Go sleep.
Okay, so
that guy, he's in a class of his own. in any midfield, he'll make a difference. Any
Yeah,
midfield.
yeah. Now
And
we're gonna come on
that
to
is how
team of
you
the season.
that is how you give players awards, is if they make a difference in any team. You can't take Henderson out of Liverpool's team and put him in Swansea's team and then he's gonna make a difference.
I
Then it's
still have
gonna
a
look
soft
like if
I still have a soft spot for Jordan though, man. I still have a soft spot. But let's come on to something more exciting. Young player of the year.
Nah, I'm gonna go with
I'll
Trent.
only one guy.
I'll, I'll go with Trent as well.
Hey, hey.
Trent.
Trent.
Check
Trent,
here.
yeah.
Trent was great in that game. No, he scored that free kick. No, was that the second last game? Last game? Second last?
Chelsea.
Yo.
Chelsea, no? Second last.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But
Yeah.
nobody's talking about that
Yeah.
awful defending. Nobody's. I don't hear anything. It's overshadowed by that free kick.
Nice.
Huh? Awful defending, man.
That's top bins. That's top bins.
Awful, I tell you.
That was beautiful.
Gee whiz. My favorite topic now.
That was beautiful.
Davina, what do you
It
have to
reminds me
say?
of myself in my younger days, just whipping it in the top corner.
Top buns, you
Yeah.
say?
All I can say is if he's
Top
getting the
bins.
goal,
Top
getting
bins.
what more can you ask for a player?
Nah, he's
Yeah, and I
What
think
more can you
young
ask
player, I'll give it to Trent any day.
yeah, for me.
England's
also.
gonna have a headache there. I still think England's gonna have a headache there in that position.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to change information and stuff there.
Cole, how about you?
True.
Cole, okay.
Sorry, guys, my network is swak on my side. Everyone's like disconnecting.
Oh.
Aish.
Alright,
Let's go, bro.
Let's move it on. Let's move it on. Unsung hero of the season.
I'm gonna go with Pope. Nick Pope.
Not bad. I think he had an awesome season as well. He was in for the Golden Glove as well. But yeah, I wanted him to win it actually, you know.
would have been quiet.
I wanted him to win it, but Edison took it.
Yeah.
Steph, how about you? Unsung hero of the season?
I want to give it to Danny, man. You know, that guy was brilliant, man.
Huh?
Really,
Danny?
really. You know, he shocked me to do that by Southampton and compete there with a golden boot. Yo, it's amazing, man. How old is he now?
How old is he, Debbie?
Yo. So maybe like late 20s?
Was he late 20s?
He looks old. He looks old, so
He's been long in the game, man. He's been long in the game. Your
he's been
unsung
around
hero?
for a long. Mine?
Your unsung hero?
I'll go for Aubameyang.
You got Oba?
He's done. Yeah, I'll go for Aubameyang. Reason why is he carried your team, bruh. He carried your team
Yeah, nah,
with all
I don't
the ups and downs with the defense and everything, bruh. Your team actually he carried that team. I mean, you know, with all the losses, the going behind, him coming back, scoring and stuff, bruh. I would say the job well done.
Yeah,
He's been a quiet captain, you know.
I don't know how we're gonna replace his goals. I really don't know how we're gonna replace his goals. I think we lost Devon, but Devon will come back. I'm gonna go for Fabinho as my unsung hero of the season.
Fabinho, yo, that's surprising.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Devon.
I'm gonna go with Fabinho.
Hello, Tyron. Hello, Cole. How are you, Cole? Hello, guys.
Evenings, little big brother. How are you doing? So
I'm doing well, man. And by the way, I agree with you on Fabinho. That was my first choice when you said who's unsung hero for the season. The entire Liverpool team gets all the credit. They're like, okay, they're boasting about Liverpool, but no one talks enough about Fabinho. He deserves so much more credit in that Liverpool squad.
true as well. Player of the year for you, Ty?
That's the thing. Like I said, okay, you can say KDB, you can say Jordan Henderson, but like a person that I think should have gotten a lot more credit. But obviously, remember the way they do their rulings is different. But someone that should have got a lot more credit was Danny Ings. Danny Ings with regards to that, like the way he changed everything.
Yeah.
Like now he went from a player who everyone thought, okay, he is injured. He went from basically being Benteke, like that, to now being Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Like he's on that level now. And like and I mean you could see, like, let's say Chelsea couldn't get Timo Werner and they had to add a player like that into their squad for next season. They would have been competing for the title. And Ings is a totally different player now. So I think outside shout, he would have been the player that I would have went for.
Okay, fair enough.
But at the same time, you can't take away from Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, true. Cole, did I ask you your unsung hero?
Hey?
Did I ask you your unsung hero? You said Danny Ings. No, who did you say as your unsung hero? I just have to pin all of this down.
You're my unsung hero. I'd probably give it to Danny Ings here.
I think everyone's...
Because he came through for Southampton this season.
Okay.
Especially my fantasy league team.
Yeah.
So, okay,
He's
so
one player that can play this league.
we've got KDB as player of the year, and we've got Danny Ings as the unsung hero. Yes, Davino. There's
Young player. And young player.
We've got down as Trent. I'm just waiting for David.
Darren, what do you agree there, Darren?
Yeah, I agree with Trent. Okay, wait, I want to ask you guys, what do you think of an unsung hero for the young players? Like, you think someone that really shunned the season, but he should have gotten more credit?
Mason Greenwood. Get rid of the deadwood and bring in Greenwood.
Mason was the county.
Greenwood, get rid of your Deadwood.
That's a bigger one. Get rid of the deadwood.
Devin, you got sounding, you got background noisy, Devin.
No, I'm okay, sorry.
Get rid of the background noise there, Devin, please.
Sorry.
I don't want to hear what jungle you got going on there behind.
Huh?
I'm
gonna go. If he's gonna go with Greenwood, then I'm gonna go bias and say Bukayo Saka.
Ah, interesting one.
Bukayo Saka. He's in a Arsenal team, and his stats are up there with KDB and Trent. And and he's played where he's played all over this team. He's played left back, he's played left half as well. So I'm gonna go with Saka.
So not a bad option.
That's very biased, Devin.
Promising.
It's biased, but if Dane's going biased, I'm also going the biased route.
Nah, that's not. I just think that guy was brilliant, man. Really.
I'm not even gonna comment on that.
You know who I would have gone for? I think if we saw more of him, Martinelli.
Yeah.
I think he would have been brilliant.
Yeah, true. We've lost him now until the end of next year, so it's a massive blow as well. Dale, how about you? You're an unsung young player.
I'll go with Greenwood.
Greenwood, not a bad shout. So I've got Dane saying Greenwood. I've got Dale saying Greenwood. Devin saying Martinelli. Hey, is the Khatta's gonna come pick us up? Who's?
They got full.
I went for Saka. Devin went for Martinelli. Ty, who are you going for?
Yeah?
If you still give me, okay, if we're talking about player under 21, mine will have to be Mason Mount. But if we're talking about a player this season that, like, overall youngster, like in their teens, it must be Saka. Like, Saka is so underrated just because he's playing in a bad Arsenal team. Like, if you look at him, think of all the boasting that people are going on about Alphonso Davies, and then you look at the way Saka plays. It's exactly the same kind of a player. A speedy winger that they turned into a left back that can still defend, and he's shining. Like, I would go for Saka.
Okay. Cole, how about you?
I can't hear you.
How would you say is your young unsung hero? You are the deciding vote. We've got one for Martinelli. We've got two for Saka. We've got two for Greenwood. It's all down to you. Don't be biased.
No, easy to take.
And there we lost him.
There we lost him.
We leave it at a tie.
Boom. Anyway, we can come back to him. Flop of the season.
Sure. I got
David
one.
de Gea.
Whoa!
Oh, there's
You're gonna put the
like
guy in that?
What is the season?
Flop.
breaks my heart to say it.
Oh, David. David, yeah, for sure.
Whoa! Go.
Which one?
Are you
Which
on
one?
Eh?
What do you mean? Which one?
Spanish one.
Sorry, Devin, man.
My signal is a little bit crappy, Devin, man. It keeps kicking me out.
That's fine. Let's move on. Davino, you were saying?
Sorry, Devin, man. I'm gonna go with David Luiz. I also wanted to say David Luiz, but David. This is like David. The Davids are taking over here.
Yeah, David that's going here. So we got 2 for Dale. What did you say? David Luiz or David De Gea?
David de Gea let me down. He's flop of the season.
Okay.
There's certain goals you just don't allow as a goalkeeper, and he allowed that. So,
Oh, Phil Foden.
Over number one. Over number
Not a
one.
bad start at all, eh?
It's young. It's probably a young player. Oh,
Yeah, that's very young. Hey, David Luiz is not getting any favors. Leave Krusty the clown when he's my clown. Hi, would you go for flop of the season?
Flop of the season has to be Joelinton.
How was this going to say Joelinton?
Yeah, because think about it. If you're looking at a pure flop of the season, he's your striker that your club paid 40 million to sign. He scores 4 goals and 4 assists in all competitions. That's 44 games where he got 4 goals and 4 assists. You spend 40 million to get him. He's your leading striker. Like Newcastle changed their plan to go from signing 2 forwards to signing 1, and he's what you get. You're like, it's so bad that Jonjo Shelvey outscored him in the league. And the thing is also, if you put it even further, it's not like Joelinton had the worst support also, because on the one side he had St. Maxim, on the other side he had Almiron, through the middle he had Jonjo Shelvey was their main scorer, and you can't tell me they didn't have the supply, because also everyone thought Newcastle was going to be relegation favourites, but they actually were performing better than expected. So Joelinton couldn't shine in a sign like that, in a team like that. That's why I have to put him as the worst player of the season.
Yeah, nah, I'm going with Joelinton on this one. Go! Your young unsung hero, you didn't give us that, and your flop of the season.
Yo.
Hey?
Your young unsung hero of the season,
What
and your
is it?
flop. Oh my dear Jesus.
Now you guys.
Yeah, Devin, man. Damn it, man.
There's another noise in the background. I can't hear you. So look at it.
Look at Devin.
Nah, mute Devin, man. No. Let Devin get control here of the situation. You can give me a thumbs up when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, there is ready. Cole, did you hear my question?
He disappears again.
Hey, daar gaan Cole weer.
Nah, Cole is having a horror show, a horror time, but we'll try to get him back. Now, let's come on to something more interesting. Team of the season. What is our formation that we're going to go with?
4-4-2?
4-4-2.
I would go 4-3-3.
I was also going to go with a 4-3-3. You, Danny boy?
I was feeling a 4-3-3.
4-3-3 as well. 4-3-3 it is. Goalkeeper?
I would have gone for Ellison, but I'll rather go with Henderson. No, I'm gonna go with
We
Henderson.
throw some outside shouts in there.
Who is the outside shot time?
Can we throw outside shouts in, like Dean Henderson, for example? Or I can only actually think of Dean Henderson. That deserves it. I got Dean Henderson then.
Competing with the Golden Glove. Yeah, Dean Henderson for me also.
Henderson as well. Nah, Khalid, you see, that's why that defensive tactics that of Golo. Aye.
Lekker formation, Golo.
Aye, fuck that formation. Sorry, Golo. 3-5-2. Yeah. Arsenal formation, imagine. Imagine. Dean Henderson. I'm gonna go with Dean Henderson as well. I'm also gonna go Indo. Everyone happy with Henderson?
Is this goalkeeper?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
Henderson, everyone's happy with Endo. Looks like we've lost Dale as well. So let me just jot this down. So we've got Endo. Right back, Trent. I'm still going with Trent.
Yeah, that's the Trent.
Hands down. Forget about Basaka.
Yeah. I was gonna say
Tyron,
for
you-
outside shot it has to be Wan Bissaka, but it must go to Alexander Arnold.
Okay, Trent it is. Cole, how about you? Anything you want to say on that?
Right?
Anything you want to add on that? Right back. You want to add one, Bisaka?
I would like to add one Basaka, but I see it's already 1, 2, 3, so I'm already out.
So you're out like Cole as well in the shit.
Yeah. So it's Trent. Let's go with Trent. But
Okay, so-
defensively, we must
Is it a
rate
back
him
three or
defensively.
back four?
Awful defender.
You gotta let that one go.
3 at the back or 4 at the back?
4. You're not allowing this 3 at the back, bruv. No way.
Four.
There's no way.
If you had to ask me now, right
Yeah,
wing,
it's
then I choose
difficult.
Trent.
But if I go in terms of only defending, I'll go on Basaka.
No, I'm not asking you in terms of defending. I'm asking you right back. Don't try to make it such a complicated question. I didn't ask. I'm asking who's the best right back. Class. Simple. It's black or white. Trent or Wan Bissaka or whoever. There's
basic.
Pereira of Leicester also.
Nah, then we lost goal again.
We lost him.
I don't know.
We lost
He's high or something. He's just gazing into the air.
I thought Cole was busy, was thinking of an answer now the whole time.
That looks so nice.
Yeah, he's just looking so.
Anyway, left back.
Saka.
I'm gonna go Robbo.
I refuse to do Robertson. After what he did to me, I refuse.
Damn,
I
Jao
hate
Robertson.
that guy.
You're gonna go Robbo. You the Ty? Who you going? Left back?
Robertson.
Okay, wait. Nah, can we make it more interesting? Can we give it liquor? Who else deserves to be there?
Chilwell.
Yeah, man. Chilwell, yeah. Actually, yeah, I really like Chilwell. I'll give Chilwell.
Okay, you're going Chilwell. Tiny boy, you going with Robbo?
Robertson, yeah.
Okay, now we're coming to the centre back. So who's playing next to Van Dijk?
See you.
David Luiz.
There's the other shout for me. I don't know. I'm going VVD. VVD.
Everyone's gonna put DVD there. I understand.
VVD with who?
Ah, Rafat Bali would have come licking to end.
I'm gonna remove you if you're gonna keep talking this nonsense here of Bahi and one.
Harry Maguire.
Wait, Rona's got the better one.
I'm joking.
Krusty the Clown.
You're horrible. Did you see him yesterday? He was pissed.
David Luiz was even worse, you. Kali
Yeah.
says Maguire.
Nah, Maguire. Yo, that brother's gonna give me a heart attack.
I know. Sorry, Devin, you go.
Oh, go ahead.
I know Laporte has been out for most of the season, but just because of how much he means to Man City, and because Man City plays better when he's in the back line, I'm going to go for him.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
No call out, man.
Laporte.
Laporte.
Yeah, it's a decent shout, even though he didn't play as many games. You're opening up a can of worms, actually, Davinder, because now you're going to allow Bruno Fernandes to be in this team, so I can see already when we're going to come there. But I don't think it's a...
Nah, I don't think Bruno can be in this team, man.
Look, I'm still gonna go with. He's been shit lately, but I'm gonna judge him on what he's done whole season. I'm gonna still go with Chagla Suyonku of Leicester.
I also want to go with him, Devin.
I'm still gonna stick with
That's a
him. Look,
surprise shout.
Yeah, but that's
I'm
what
gonna,
I said in the beginning. The Yonku next to Van Dijk.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Suyonku next to VVD. I'm still gonna go with him. I know he fell off, but I think he's been awesome for them this season. But Leicester fell off in total. Leicester capitulated, so you can't expect miracles from him as well. I'm still gonna go with Suyonku. Devin's going Laporte. Who are you going with, Ty?
I'm gonna go Laporte. Like just
Laporte, Daniel,
overall
you?
player. Like
Suyonku.
Suyonku. Cole, this is your time now. Don't now die out on us. You've died on us on 3 separate occasions. This is where we need you.
I said to Yonku.
Okay, so we're gonna put that's 3 for Suyonku.
Yeah, he's like a solid there at the back.
Yeah. Midfielders. Who's the 3 midfield?
Devin, I was
Devin,
gonna go for him, but I was gonna go for him, but I wasn't sure how to pronounce it, man. So yeah, you can go for it.
No, fair enough, fair enough. No stress, Davino. Our midfielders.
Holding?
Fabinho.
Starting.
Fabinho
For me.
Namanda Matic. No, I'm joking. I'll come back to that one.
No, man said I'll come back to that one.
Okay. I can name 2 so long. It's Fabinho and ADB. I'm thinking so long on the third one.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'm also
Can you
thinking
choose
on the
January signing?
You can if you want to throw him in. I know you're gonna bring Bruno in. I know this.
He must definitely be there. He's been a revelation to the team.
Nah, he has been. He has been, but I don't know about the whole season though.
It's too soon, man.
Too soon, yeah.
It's 3 in midfield, eh?
Yeah, 3 in midfield.
Yeah, Fabinho, Kevin De Bruyne. And Masma put in Henderson, man. Shame.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Endo. That's my 3 as well.
Look here, at the end of the day, like, except for except for Bruno now. I don't think any other midfielder really shined this season, man.
What about Gini
Like,
Wijnaldum?
really shine.
What about Grealish and Madison? Grealish and Madison?
Yeah, but that wasn't breaking down, man. Like I said, that wasn't breaking down and that stuff. Like, that's why I would put Jordan like there, what Fabinho in that holding role, and then KDB number 10.
Okay. Fair enough. Now we come on to the front 3. This is where it gets very, very interesting and exciting.
Obama.
Don't jump at the chance to go first, eh?
I'm ready.
Okay. Who's your front 3?
Okay. I'm gonna go Sadio on the left. I'm gonna go Aubameyang up front, and I'm gonna go Raza on the right.
Who?
Raza. Raheem Sterling.
Oh, okay.
Raheem Sterling.
sure.
Okay.
Checking out the yellow is Raza.
That is good scoring season this year. So, Ty, how about you?
I'm gonna go Mane, Danny Ings, and then on the left. Oh, it's junk. You know what? I think I'll throw Aubameyang on the left now. I'll play where Arsenal plays him.
Okay. Yeah, he has played there. Tiny boy, how about you?
Team of the season. Front 3. Yo. Suarez, the Black Suarez must be there, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nah.
Definitely.
Jamie Vardy.
Is
going to be the spear.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Vardy must be that spear. Yo, he's been brilliant there in front, goal scoring and assisting. The midfielders, yo, he was brilliant. And on the right, shit.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with the bombing. Bombing, you know. Am I right? That's the
Okay.
front three for me for the season.
Front three,
Suarez,
Frena
Black Suarez, Jamie Vardy, and the
and
bombing.
Oba. Okay. Cole, how about you?
Aubameyang up front. Mane. Sterling. I would say Marshall, but that would be biased.
Ah, I'm gonna remove you also, man. Why don't you have connectivity issues when you talk such stuff? I'm gonna pin down Mane because I think most of us agree that Mane is there. How many of us have Oba in?
Yes, three of
I
us.
have
Yeah,
Oba there.
Everyone put their hand up who's got Oba.
all have him.
So Oba can go here as well. I also have Oba on the left. And then I'll go up top Vardy. So here's where it get interesting.
I was actually going to say now, yeah, why did no one take Vardy? No one put Vardy or Salah in the team. Yeah.
I took Vardy.
I wanted to go for Salah actually, but I wanted to go for Mo.
He didn't. He was bad this season actually.
How many of us have Vardy?
Isn't that because Salah set the bar so high last year?
Yeah, do you think, Devin, this is what I want to ask. Do you think he's a victim of his own success?
Look, if you can have 19 goals on an off season, I'd take that any day of the week. So, yeah, I think that's still.
Yeah, his numbers don't lie. I think he's had an awesome season as well.
Yeah, he started. That's because of that 32 goals that he scored when he started in his debut season. Made it a bit difficult for him. But I think with the positions that he's finding himself in, he still has the potential to reach that numbers again or to get somewhere close by. But yeah, it's going to be difficult.
Okay, so that's 3 for Vardy. So we've got Hendo, Trent, VVD, Suyonku, Robbo, another Hendo, Fabinho, KDB, Mane, Vardy, Oba. That is the DVD team of the season. Coach of the season.
That's not a difficult one. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Unai Emery.
I'm going to remove this guy now. I
Mute that guy, man.
I'm going to mute this brother.
Nah, Jurgen Klopp. Nah, he's the one.
What did he say now?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah, that day.
Frank Lampard was also not bad, eh?
True.
Frank
True. Frank Lampard didn't have a bad start this
What
year.
was that coach's name of Sheffield?
Chris Wilder.
Yeah, him.
I'm going to go with Klopp.
Can we go to the Division 1 or so? Or are we staying in the Prem? If Liverpool didn't have so good season, I think Wilder would have been up there.
100% Chris Wilder. But who are you going with, Devin? We got 2 for Klopp. We got Wilder from Coleridge. Who are you going?
Only one guy.
Only one guy.
Yeah, no, it's biased. No, it's biased. Biased. 99 points. 99 points. 196 points over 2 seasons.
You have to go for Klopp. Like, you can't take that away from him. That's the one thing you must. You must give it to Klopp. You can't go for Pep. You can't go for Solskjaer. Lampard is a quiet shout, but still you feel like you can't give it to him. Even what's Leicester's coach's name again?
Rodgers.
Yeah.
Rodgers was also
same thing there. Quiet, but then he fell off at the end. Like,
he paid it.
Liverpool at least kept it quiet. Yeah, Liverpool at least kept a quiet run going. So you must give it to Klopp.
Yeah, true. Good evening, Brendan. How are you?
Brendan.
Welcome.
How's Brendan?
Join us.
Mike Devon.
Adobo. Oh, Visa.
Is he also freezing?
How's it,
No,
Biza?
I'm fine. I'm just hearing kids in the background.
Don't worry. Nah, don't worry. It's Devon. It's Devon.
No, it's fine. You don't have to apologize. It's fine.
Have you been watching what we've been getting up to? I don't think we should have.
We got Trent, VVD, Soyonchu, Robbo, Hendo, Fabinho, KDB. Who else?
Mane,
Was it
Vardy, and Oba.
So there's no Sterling there.
Sterling had 2 votes. He just didn't make it. It was 3 votes for Oba.
Ooh, I'll put Sterling in front of Fabinho. I'll maybe play a diamond. Check.
Yo, these are Arsenal fans, Opel.
You're gonna play a diamond, you say?
Yeah, I just need one holding midfielder, Henderson, and then I need Mane, Sterling, KDB behind Vardy and Aubameyang.
Okay. Your coach of the season?
Oh, it's tough. Listen, he deserves it, Klopp. If it wasn't for him aside, I'll go Wilder just ahead of Lampard.
Yeah, like Davino said as well. Like Devin said. Look, I
almost thought you were gonna say Arteta.
I heard somebody say Solskjaer. And in that team, I'm glad Bruno's not there. Woo, don't need that, Don't need that. Don't need
in the fine print said no January signings, apparently.
That guy played 2 games. Game record team of the season, Bruno. Sorry?
Like I said earlier, the Bruno factor was brought into United to add some spice to the team, not be the main player. Like the camera must be on him. He was brought in to take the camera away from Pogba and actually make the team flourish in the system. We need to build a system, something similar to what Liverpool has, because Solskjaer likes also the attacking football. But I'm not convinced also about Solskjaer, man. He's how he is with the players is not good enough. But his signings that he made, I can say now he's made decent signings at least. So there looks like there's a future, but coach-wise, to work on the players' mentality, especially big players, I don't know. It's a bit tough. I can't. I'm stuck between 2 places there.
Listen, I don't support your team, but I think you're wrong there. He said from the very beginning, he knows what it takes to be a Man United player, and there's a way that you play. There's a way that you work, that you run, that you train. And if you're not up to it, you sit on the bench, which he did to Paul Pogba.
Very hard to disagree there. But let's keep moving. I'm going to come with an unpopular opinion just before we end off. I'll go with unpopular opinion, and then I want us all to rate our seasons out of 10. My unpopular opinion for the evening is Pep Guardiola is the most overrated coach in world football. Discuss.
Amen.
Nah.
Stop.
You would say now because you support Barca, obviously.
Nah, I can actually break it down. The thing is, the best example that you would actually ever get is if you look at what he did to the Manchester City squad. Like, the biggest hate that he gets is, okay, he signs whichever players that he wants. That's the one. He only goes to big clubs. That's 2. And 3rd is he doesn't necessarily give that much to a team because as according to people, he's always winning. Like I'll admit, he does have his faults. But on top of it, he did change the entire system that the Manchester City was playing under. And because of him, City now look like one of the most dangerous teams to play against. Like obviously, let's say they would have strengthened in defense beginning of, like when they lost company and stuff like that, then they wouldn't have been as much in the situation that they are now. And that is all because of Pep. Like, when you play against them, you can feel, I'm playing against Manchester City. When he was at Bayern, they were dangerous. When he was at Barca, they were dangerous. He gets the biggest jobs because he's the biggest coach, so you can't hold that against him. And the fact that he wants to sign the players that he wants, he brings that with him to any club that he goes to, because realistically, it's the same with Arteta. You give Arteta money next season, he's going to want to sign his own players. That's any coach's mentality. The only coach that isn't like that is Chris Wilder, who says, let me get the best out of my players. But even him, he spent 60 million on 3 players in the transfer window. Like, Pep gets a lot of hate because of these decisions, but overall, he is a brilliant manager.
I'm not saying
But
he's
can he
not a
scout?
brilliant manager.
Can he scout the talent like for that raw diamonds? Does he have that?
Let me give you an example. Okay, there was 2 coaches at Barcelona that was chasing Laporte. We were Ernesto Valverde and Luis Enrique. They were both chasing him, but both of them never saw anything in him. They didn't feel the need to pay 30 million for Laporte. Then when Zidane first took over at Madrid, there was talk that he was going to sign Laporte. Never ever happened. And then as soon as Pep went to City and he started getting it, he wanted Laporte. He was the first player that he wanted. He didn't mind paying 50 million for a player that never featured once for France. And now look at Laporte now. We were all voting for him. That's one of the stuff he did. He was the same person that looked at Phil Foden or anyone else would have rushed into the squad. He said, give me one more year with you. This season, he made 28 appearances for City. Last season, he only made 6. So now all of a sudden, Phil Foden is now looking like one of the best. Now we can't wait to see how Phil Foden's going to be next season. Look at Sterling now. The first season under Pep Guardiola compared to now. So do you see that? Like, look at, that's the thing that Pep Guardiola does with you. It's the same effect that he had with Busquets when he was at Barca. It's the same effect that he had with Thiago when he was at Bayern. And now he's just doing the same thing at City. Rodri, Rodri, a lot of people's looking at it, they're like, oh my word, they wasted money on him and stuff. But he's literally priming and he's grooming Rodri to be Fernandinho's replacement. And look how good Rodri's going to be next season.
No, he looks brilliant.
True, we hear you. That's very valid points, mate. Devin, anything you'd like to comment on that?
I think Tyron has a good point, and I didn't see it in that way. But I think City's main target was the Champions League. Ever since that's why they signed him, and that's why they wanted him there so that he can build a team. And there wasn't a limit on the budget, and still to this day he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it by Bayern, and he couldn't do it at this moment. He's not able to do it with City. Okay, but we don't know yet how the season's going to end. But I think in terms of if we need to see him at the team where the budget isn't so loose, then I think we're going to see a different. I think we'll see a different Pep, because we can only credit him based on the fact that he's been by clubs where he can spend big. If he can go to a club like Tottenham, then we'll see what he can do and build a team that can win trophies. Like a team that has nothing really and win something, then we know, okay, this guy is... Oh, because, look, we can see the City, the team that he built with City, it's dangerous teams. But it's because he's got the money also to build this kind of teams.
Exactly,
so
for me. But City were winning leagues before he came even already.
Also
Bayern
true.
were winning leagues before him as well.
That's true. So we can only really criticize him based on the fact that he hasn't won the Champions League, and that's been his main target. So it's difficult to say to really criticize him also. It goes both ways.
But also there's one more thing that I can shout out. If you look at City before Pep Guardiola took over, look at the competition that City was really going up against compared to now. Like now you have Leicester that came out of nowhere this season. You have United that's literally on the best point of their rebuild. You have Liverpool that's almost unstoppable. You have, Arsenal is also rebuilding. You have Tottenham. Last season's Tottenham, not now. But I'm saying like the competition, don't you think the competition's a lot? Even look at Chelsea's team now. Look at the competition now compared to when City was winning those leagues. Before Pep.
Times are changing, eh?
I think it was better back then.
Why do you think so, Devin?
I think so because remember United that year that they won it, but the last Aguero kick, United had a team of Wayne Rooney. There was a Chelsea bad boy team as well that was in that mix also. Remember there was a Leicester team that won the league as well, where they also fell off miraculously. So I think the competition was a bit more stiffer back then than what it is now. For me, personally, everyone this season, besides Liverpool and City, have had a shit season. You can say whatever you want. But for me, there isn't a team that had... Look, I give credit to United, but let's be honest. United, they also had their bad spells. So have Arsenal, so have Chelsea, so have Spurs. Do you know what I'm getting at? I'm not saying...
If you remember, when was that last podcast of when you done with me and Devon with that before the Liverpool and the United game?
Yeah.
So United were on the worst. The only way from there, they were on the ground. The only way was up. There was no other way. So the season was. I'm glad for lockdown. This Corona couldn't come anytime sooner for United. We needed this.
Is there anything you want to add there on your side in Cole Joburg?
That's difficult to say. He's overrated. Wherever he's gone, he has achieved success. The foundation has been in place, yes, and it's not his fault that he was at first Barcelona. And because he was successful there, he wasn't going to go to a small club. As much as you and I are going to say he must go to a small team and show us what he's capable of, no, it's like you going, you have a top job now. Now I'm telling you to prove yourself, go and start there and build yourself. Nobody does that. Nobody.
But
he is a highly sought after manager for a reason. Nobody's going to go after an overrated, because he's done nix. This is a highly sought after manager because he has achieved what he has achieved. His reputation goes before him. Some players want to play for the club because Pep is the coach. Very few coaches have that pool. Very few coaches have that pool.
Yeah, but then again, look, Barcelona had the foundation there already, just like Faba said also. Like anyone could have went to Barcelona. Any one of us in this chat could have went to Barcelona and they would still win the league. Even after they were still in the league.
How do you know? That's speaking hypothetically. The thing is, he's done it. He can go somewhere.
How many managers have won the league?
And because they have Pep, that doesn't guarantee them success. Now, I'm not saying he's not overrated, but the man's reputation precedes him. It's, we're going to get Pep. And everybody, now this is a team to take seriously because they have Pep. At one stage, Man United wanted Pep. And if you couldn't get Pep, it was Jose. And when you got Jose, success is guaranteed to no man. No man. You must go out and earn it. And Pep has shown with the players that, okay, he might not unearth these gems. Phil Foden was already there. So, and because of circumstances, he's been getting more and more game time. But he still has to prove himself worthy of a Man City place. Check.
Yeah.
Raheem Sterling was showing so much promise at Pool, but he never really fulfilled it. He always lacked what they said, the finished product or the last pass or etc. etc. Now, under Pep, the man is lethal. He's scoring goals for fun. Nah, I pick up for Pep. I can pick up for him.
I think that also came with age. Look at Salah, that was by Chelsea, or Kevin De Bruyne at Chelsea.
They had to leave and come back. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think it's got to do with age. I think they got him at the right age. Sterling now is at the right age. Liverpool's got Salah at the right age. So it's age also. Like if we have to let Marshall go now and he goes to a different club, as maturity,
he'll probably find somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like Barca got Pjanic at the right age now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna disagree. I'll give you my reasons why I say he's overrated. You look at his run last year that he had in those cup competitions. Easy runs. He bottled it over 2 legs against Spurs. That's number one. He spent how much money on defenders? You know for a fact that Vincent Kompany is not going to be with you next year. You're telling me that you're really not going to make a contingency plan for Laporte, not what if he gets injured. So you're going to survive with Fernandinho and you're gonna play Fernandinho and Otamendi in. Name me one. You said Sterling, but name me other player that he has dramatically improved that you can say, okay, you know what? I've taken this player to the next level. Like in terms of like what Klopp did with, say, Gini Wijnaldum, Henderson, Mane, Salah even. Salah was scoring goals. Robbo. Do you know what I mean? That the list goes on.
I think he tried it with Gabriel Jesus. Thinking this is going to be the next best thing, and then the hype was deflated, just like it.
I'll give you even better, Bizak. You're saying on previous years. Did any one of us know about the players in the Dortmund team? I'm talking about your Marco Reus, your Lewandowski, that team. Did any one of us know of them before Klopp came there?
Nope.
I'm not saying about you. Because we can go on. The thing is, we would not have known of those players if they hadn't achieved anything. The fact that they pushed Bayern, the fact that they made Champions League finals, that they were successful, they became household names because they got more airtime. You check. Now, if they were fighting relegation like one of those small teams, then we weren't going to see them. And to be honest, we weren't going to be speaking about them now.
True.
He is a victim of his own success. My coach, one of my coaches once told me, if you want people to like you, start winning. If you want people to dislike you, keep winning. That's why they dislike you.
I like that.
Nice one.
That's a nice one. I like that. But yeah,
Look,
that's
he's not winning. He's not winning the main
We don't
trophy
know
that
yet.
they.
We
Yeah,
don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
well, it's in his
Yeah,
favor
they
now.
still-
What they only have like one game now. They only get their second league, and then after the straight knockout in the Champions League. So it's gonna count in his favor.
Yeah. Yes,
If you
definitely.
look at it.
Now
Like,
you're
yes,
playing against the Madrid side who are going to be fresh, yes. They've already won the league and they without Sergio Ramos. And now you got a City side who are hungry for some sort of title, big title, not the small league cup and stuff that they want. They want the Champions League. That's been their target. The fact that Manchester United fans harp on about treble, because it's hard to accomplish. That's unprecedented to win 3 major trophies in one season. He won domestic treble last year. He did it and he fell short in the league this season.
But yeah, they're easy running all of those trophies.
Their focus now for a long time has been on the Champions League. For a long time now. That is their priority. And not many teams can say that.
Yeah.
True.
And the thing is this, Brendan, what would you prefer? Somebody that can build a team, like to have sustained success, or would you have someone in your team, like or manager, that is just there for the short term, like that's just gonna, you'll be satisfied if you win something this season, next season, something like a Carling Cup, a Carabao, or FA Cup, you'll be alright with that, and then so that when he leaves next season or the season thereafter, what is your team gonna sit with then? Because you need to have those players. You want to leave something behind that is going to be successful for the seasons thereafter.
Exactly.
Well, I can tell you, the first step is some sort of success. You must win something. There can't be sustained success if you don't win something to begin with.
Yeah.
So me, as an Arsenal fan, I like what my coach is doing to my side now. There's a small light at the end of a tunnel, but that tunnel, that light is only a glimmer, and it's there in the distance. I need to see something that will bring that light closer. You check.
Yeah.
So Klopp lost the Champions League final because of Karius. He then won a Champions League final, and now he won the league. That's now I can see growth. I can see how I'm getting sustained success. I need to win something.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Now you all make valid points. We're gonna wrap it up, and I'm gonna go around by each of you, and I'm gonna ask you to rate your team out of 10. Ty, I know you a Barcelona fan, so I want you to rate your season as well out of 10. I'll start with Daily Boy partner. Out of 10, how would you rate your season, and why would you rate it that? And where do you think you guys need to improve to take you guys to the next level?
Oh, I'm struggling to say 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay.
6.5. I'm gonna go with a 6.5. We definitely need 2 centre backs. We want Dean Henderson in that team and a killer striker.
You know you can only play 11 players, huh?
A killer striker. Jadon Sancho, I saw you guys tabled a bid for him this morning, but they rejected it. They're holding out for 120 million euros.
Yeah, they're gonna keep the club ransom now with the prices. It's money. Ridiculous. No, they can keep Jadon Sancho. I've got Mason Greenwood.
I saw Coleman as the other alternative. Kingsley Coleman if you don't get Jadon.
But injury prone or something, and so that's just for some healthy competition in the team. For Rashford, maybe that's gonna be on that side.
No, way too injury prone. You see, if you are, let's say for example, a big game is coming next week. If I got a small knock, I'm telling no manager I'm injured. I make sure I'm fit for that game. That Kingsley Coman is making excuses because he's on the fringes there. You see, if he's a starting player and there's a big game coming up, you make sure by hook or by crook you fit for that game.
Yeah.
True. Davino, how would you rate your season?
11. I mean, the target has been achieved, so what more could you ask for?
Yeah.
I think to improve, I think the front three still have enough juice in their system to go for another season. And I'm gonna go for the midfield. We really need a creative midfielder, somebody that can, because a lot of the times, a lot of the teams is sitting back and they're defending. They have nothing really to break that down. So I think a nice creative midfielder would make the difference. And then maybe a Koulibaly at the back to stop that goal, you know.
So if you sign Koulibaly, I'm done with the Premier League.
He's going to City. He's going to City.
He's going to City.
Devin, this is what I wanted to ask you. Do you feel you guys lost out on Timo Werner? Because I don't know if you will agree with me or what, but do you sometimes feel that Fabinho gets in a comfort zone and no one is keeping him on his toes? I mean, Divock Origi is not going to give him sleepless nights.
Oh, that's you true there. I can't argue with that, really, because this last couple of games, even though he's the guy, he's the system, but
He's
still, man,
hero, yeah.
we're looking for a striker, really. When you look at a striker, and the reason why we won't choose Firmino in our team of the season up front, we need goals. Striker needs goals. Thierry Henry scored goals and assisted. He can do the same. And if he's lacking, if you scored one goal at home for the whole season, no, it's not the standard that has been set.
That's the last fault. That's the last fault.
Nah, he's got it. I think he's got. Look, whenever he's up front, the first thing he looks for, where's Sadio, where's Salah? He's looking for those players instead of being greedy himself. Sometimes, you know, I'm not saying that you must always be greedy, but sometimes you have to go for goal. He's got the ability. Why not?
True.
So I think Devin, another striker that can really keep him on his toes will make the difference.
Fair enough. And you said creative midfielder. Coutinho, would you have him back?
Ooh, on loan, definitely. Definitely.
You can have him gladly.
Really?
Arsenal not in the market there.
I see Arsenal's
We're looking at the swap deal, but they say it's either Guendouzi for Coutinho or they wanna give us Rakitic and Vidal like I'm some fucking old age retirement home.
Wait, they want to swap Guendouzi for Coutinho.
For Coutinho, yeah, it's either Guendouzi or Coutinho I saw this morning, or the other deal is they give us Rakitic and Vidal.
What's there to think about? Let him go. Let him go.
Coutinho, what the fuck must I do? Sorry, Devin, I know you got kids in the background.
No, it's cool. They can't hear anything.
Ty, how about you? You are right. Your Barcelona season out of 10. You were leading before the Corona came in. You were leading the log, and then Real Madrid came and blitzed you. Ramos turned into Ronaldo, and you guys just fell off. Your transfer, I think you can agree with me. Your transfer dealings have been a shambles. I mean, if you're trading Arthur and taking in Pjanic, I don't know. Your squad is an aging squad. Personally, I think you have like how many players they're reaching the twilight of their careers. How would you rate your season, and what do you think Barcelona need to do to rebuild?
To be honest, whole season, like the only benefit that came out of this, like last night, the Barcelona B team couldn't even get promotion. The only high point of the whole season is the fact that let's say I'm making Champions League next season. Like I give my season a 2 out of 10 because there's poor planning with regards to our transfers. Like, how can you spend 120 million on Griezmann? He's not working. So now, okay, instead of selling Griezmann, we now want to work out, okay, how about we give 110 million now? Then we can get us Lautaro Martinez. Oh, okay, but we still have Dembele, them in the team. It's fine. You know what? Let's sell a midfielder and we sign another striker. Like, there's no planning with regards to our signings. And I have so much quiet players coming through my academy. But because the board of the club sees it as, okay, we can just add another marquee signing, then that's going to win over the fans, then it's going to keep us here for another year. Because that happens, my youth players never ever come up. Real Madrid did the right thing. They were spending money. They signed a lot of young players. They groomed them into the team. Federico Valverde, one of the best players of the season. And they signed him, literally groomed him into the squad. And now they don't care if Modric goes because they have a solid replacement just there. They have Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo competing for a spot, and that works. They don't care if Bale and Hazard leaves now because they have two solid wingers coming to the team. They have quite players that's out on loan. They signed in the players they signed in players for a lot of money, but then what they did is they loaned them out, let them get the experience. Next season when you come, we'll see. Okay, you can either take over one of the spots or we'll send you out on loan again. That's what was quiet about it. We signed Bullies when we didn't need to, thinking it would add experience. We lost Paulinho, okay, who was a quiet player, but at the same time, I criticized the signing, and then there was even times where he didn't even look right for the Barca team. He leaves. What does Barca do? We sign Vidal just because you think it's the exact same kind of player. Now he's supposed to take over Paulinho, but even though Vidal, like if you ever watch the Barca game with Vidal, and Vidal doesn't look like he fits the squad. Vidal just runs around, tackles, does anything. He doesn't.
He's
fit
trying
the team.
too hard.
So
he's trying too hard.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you why, because everybody's trying to please. Everybody's trying to please Messi, and now you can't take anything away from the guy. But everybody there's trying to please Messi. Exactly. When they signed Griezmann, he was the one who said, "Hey, check here, he don't fit." But everybody's trying to.
I agree with you on that.
Real Madrid don't have that problem anymore because Cristiano's gone to fucking Italy.
Can you picture life without Messi?
At this point in time, I can't.
There's only one way they're gonna find out.
Like, that's the thing. The problem is we're still living off of the same team, the same core of players that we had since 2010. We still have an old. We also have an old Pica in defense. We have an old Busquets in the midfield. We have Messi on the side. We have Suarez up front, and that's the issue. We have too much players that are getting old, but there's no plan for after that. Like Suarez this season, we should have had a better plan than signing Griezmann, because realistically you would need to play the both of them anyway. Instead of that, what I would have done was sign a younger striker under the understanding. Okay, I'm young. I'm gonna play under Braithwaite. Even that, the bro used to play for Middlesbrough. He went to Leganés, and now he's playing for Barca. That makes no sense.
Living the dream, baby.
That's like playing for Kaiser Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, and now you're playing for Liverpool.
And they signed him outside of the window. He was priced to go. They said, "Yeah, bring him."
And now, because it's such a stupid transfer, Leganés hates us now. Now Leganés and now there's bad relationship between the clubs because they hate us for doing that. Because we're the reason why they got relegated.
True, yeah, that's also that, because you were scoring goals by
That's
them.
the president.
What do you make of your chances for the? What do you make of your chances for the Champions League? You got a very, very tough draw. You think you're gonna come through that?
I'll make it into next round, but if we beat Bayern Munich, I'll be very surprised. Like Bayern Munich at this point in time look like they could beat anyone, and that was the worst draw that Barca could have gone. That was the one team that I was thinking, if there's any way I can avoid them, it would be so quiet. But Bayern, I doubt it.
I actually
it'll be quiet. Like, obviously it'll be quiet if we make it, but Liverpool and Bayern, that's the two main teams.
For me also. Biza, the one that everyone's been waiting for in the chat. I can see Rona's been waiting for it. How would you rate our season out of 10? You have 20 minutes this time. I don't want the spot I don't want the spot to go longer than 2 hours. You guys have lives and wives.
I think it's no higher than 5. I was gonna say a 4, but no higher than 5.
Why?
Listen, a lot can change if we win the FA Cup, but then I know that divides opinion between Arsenal fans. Some Arsenal fans don't want us in Europe. I would like to see us there, personally, to win something. If we have any hope of holding on to our best players, they better get used to winning something and winning something with us. And then, that's about it. I'll give us 5. Yeah, I'm not going to go 20 minutes.
I got a question.
There's not
for
much
the
to talk
Arsenal
about
fans.
Arsenal season. And I must hear Man United fans. No. No, you asked me about Arsenal, 4 or 5 max. 5 max. I could go 6 if we win the FA Cup, but then that's about it. That's about it. The fact that we
I'm gonna
only
go.
just made it into the top half says enough. It says enough.
Nah, I'm gonna disagree there. I'm gonna go with a 3 out of 10. I think this has been the most
Wow,
shittest
even this. Shit.
3 out of 10. This has been the shittest season. I mean, honestly, you eighth. You how many points off top 4? We are what 14 points worse than what we were last year. This was the worst season I've ever experienced as an Arsenal fan. It's such a shit show. We have Ozil that's getting paid 350,000 a week to play Fortnite. We have David Luiz, we have Kolasinac, we have Mustafi. Oh, the shit that this team has put me through this season. They ruined my birthday against Leicester. That's number one. They drew with Wolves. I can't get that over my heart. They bottle everything. I don't even expect much on them. Like the perfect example, a winning mentality in a team. The team's mentality, the culture needs to change for me. A perfect example, you go beat Liverpool, you beat City. How is it so typical Arsenal like that they go fuck up against Aston Villa? We could have played for another hour, 2 hours. Don't tell me about, yeah, it's okay for a cup final, it's a cup final, whatever. You look at Jurgen Klopp. After Klopp lost to Arsenal, he was upset. You could see after even Klopp drew with Burnley, he was upset at the ref. Why? Because it's a winning mentality. But Arsenal, what do? Our club captain cracks jokes with Tyron Mings. That's the shit I'm talking about. I looked again yesterday as well. Yesterday, the same thing. You take a 3-0 lead. We were looking comfortable, but we were playing shit. Then what happened? All of a sudden, capitulation. Everything goes into tatters. For me personally, I'll give us a 3 out of 10. I'm glad the season has ended. We can win the FA Cup, but it's not going to mask over the cracks. We've been horrible. We've been disgusting. I want the season to end. As much as Pisa says, yes, winning a trophy. I hear that players want to win trophies as well. For me, it's not going to cover over the cracks. This has been a horrible season. I'm glad it's over. The less I have to say about it, the better. I'm looking forward to the cup final as always. But like I said again, I'm not going to lose my shit if we don't get to the Europa, if we don't win the cup, because I personally said a year out of this fucking Europa League will do us good. First and foremost, like I said it in many times before, when you go to a toilet, you don't wash your hands and then take a shit. You take a shit and you wash your hands. That is what we need to do. We need to get rid of all the cuck that's here in this team. Bold, start afresh, give Arteta what he wants, and that's it. Simple and plain.
And I think the more he can use his players and
fan.
see them, then the more he'll be able to make an accurate and fair assessment of them all.
I've seen enough of David Luiz. I've seen enough of Mustafi. I've
Oh,
seen
no,
enough of Kolasinac.
no.
I've seen
Listen,
enough of Bellerin. I've seen enough of
There are those players that stick out like fucking sore thumbs. How can one player concede 5 penalties one season?
Exactly.
Gee, fucking will.
Exactly.
No, man. No.
But look, I'll be up for the cup. I always am. I hope we win it. But if we, like I said again, if we don't win it, I'm not going to lose any shit about it. One last question I wanted to ask you guys. The Ballon d'Or has been cancelled. Who you guys would have had for Ballon d'Or to win this season?
No, I think you have to wait for the Champions League.
It's tough. I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know.
It's difficult to say now, yes.
You don't want to try one just for argument's sake?
Messi.
No.
Jordan Henderson.
Bruno.
Can you believe it? He's still the leading scorer and assist for Sporting Lisbon. Can you believe it? Ladies and gentlemen, that is
the league
breaking
ended when he left. Wait, I have a question. Who was your player of the season?
KDB.
We went with KDB. I still stuck with Endo.
And who was your flop of the season?
David De Gea.
Didn't we say Joelinton?
Yeah, you went
went with David De Gea.
What about VAR? What about VAR?
Oh,
big one.
Get me
Big one.
That's a good one.
We got 15 minutes.
Yeah, you got VAR.
You don't want to upset the United.
Wait, but I got a question for the Arsenal fans.
Yo.
I got a question for the Arsenal fans. End of the season comes. Okay, let's say you find out. Okay, Arsenal is interested in bringing in another manager. Let's say it's someone like Allegri. Would you guys want to stay with Arteta, or would you want to go a different route?
Nah, I'd stay with Arteta.
even if there's a good manager that you guys could possibly get, would you guys still
I'd
be like,
stay with
okay, I
Arteta.
believe in the philosophy he's doing, let me stay with Arteta?
I'd stay with Arteta because that's the way the new breed of managers, if I could put it, are going. I'd stay with Arteta, the young, vibrant manager that can put his arm around the player. I'd stick with him. Although Allegri has pedigree
You,
and
Brandon?
that, but
Yeah. I guess he would only come if he got some assurances that, listen, you have so much to spend and you have your targets are X, Y, and Z. And if those are made public and he can tell us fans and the board and the club that, listen, I can meet X, Y, and Z targets, then yeah. With Arteta at this moment in time, I think it's a bit like a Frank Lampard where he's got like a free hit. We were going down and at a rapid rate. And the fact that he's somehow managed to keep us afloat, we're like, okay, we'll stay with you for the time being. There's some calmer waters. Yeah, I'll stay with him, yeah. But you can't just turn down big fucking managers. No, you can't.
Yeah, look, it's like I was saying earlier, Ty, as well. He's turned this thing around. If that's what he can do with such shit players, then what can he do with the
It's a cycle, bro. It's a cycle.
No, it's a long cycle, and I'm not patient.
Liverpool didn't win the league for 30 years. And slowly but surely they had hope to cling on to. And I know they had Champions League titles along the way, but they were never always winning. They were never always winning. It's a cycle.
In 14 years' time, I'll be 45.
You're saying Arsenal's only going to get a league title in 2035.
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Look, he's given what I can say. What I like about Arteta is he's basically given his players the rope to hang themselves, and that's what I like. So he doesn't go to bed dreaming of a defense that has David Luiz and Mustafi and Kolasinac and all those cock players. So yeah. VAR, are we going to end it off with VAR? Who's in for VAR? Yeah or nay? I know Dane is in for VAR. Dane loves VAR.
Must go.
If the referees can just do their job, man, you understand? They get paid to do a job, so if they can just do their job, who needs VAR?
Man United must renew his contract.
We wanted the
I'm actually for VAR, but it's just the way they're using it currently.
Yes.
Because I think the game needs it. But I mean, if you can't pick up a goal that went across the line, I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. You know what I mean? So I think there is improvements, but this is the way they use it.
Yeah, I agree. The rules don't change, but the implementation of this tool, and the interpretation of the rules using the tool, that needs to improve. That needs to improve.
2 centimeters and cuck. But look there, Aston Villa and Sheffield United, no one of VAR stepped in. That could have kept Bournemouth up. Or was it Watford that could have stayed up? They could have kept Watford up.
That sends Villa down. That sends Villa down.
Bournemouth could have stayed up.
One of them could have stayed up, but that decision, I don't know. For me, they take too long for me personally. I think they're arrogant in the sense that they don't want the ref to go over. They're scared for the refs to be overruled. But I mean, the tool was brought in to help the referees first and foremost. Yeah. You look at it like a Tyron, you can testify to this. In Spain, the referee still makes the final call. He goes over to the screen on the side.
Yeah.
In England, he stands and he waits and he looks and he looks. I looked at Mike Dean yesterday with his.
Look at Mike Dean, the bastard.
Fucking hagger beard here. You see how arrogant he looked when he had to give it. He was like, sorry.
He didn't want to give it. He didn't want to give it. That's why.
He didn't want to give it.
I mean, how many millions are they spending on that screens there next to the field? They could have given it to me. I could have also stood there, you know?
Technology is so great now these days. I mean, it doesn't even have to run there. They have these watches where everything is on the screen. Like, you can answer your phone from your watch. So why does he have to run all the way across the field to a screen? They can radio him or something. Or check this out on his watch. Where we still back in 1847.
Yeah, the implementation has been wrong. But gents, I want to thank you guys again for taking the time and coming on. It was awesome.
I joined late. I got more questions.
You want more questions? Go ahead.
I feel you, Brendan.
Okay, so of those three teams that went down, Bournemouth,
Norwich.
Norwich.
And Watford. And
Watford.
Watford.
and Watford. Are there any players from those three teams that you would take, that you would sign
I've
for
got-
yours?
I've got
Wilson,
one.
Callum.
I've got one. Saw from Watford. I think he will be excellent.
Hey,
Yeah.
that man is a problem, man. I like him. I like him.
Really,
Ismail Assar.
really.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why don't you take Dini, man? United take Dini.
No one gonna mention Jack Grealish.
I think
Who?
But he didn't go
He-
down.
Oh no,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry, no. I mean Todd Cantwell. Sorry, Todd Cantwell.
Cantwell,
Cantwell.
Pookie.
You see how it ends?
Yeah, or Buendia.
Doesn't say
he will be
links.
perfect by
Doesn't say
United.
links, that.
No way, me brother, that you okay? Hey, now how about you? Who do you have?
Sorry?
Who would you have out of those teams that went down?
Wilson, is he on loan from Liverpool?
Harry
Yeah.
Wilson.
At Bournemouth, he's on
Yeah.
loan. from
Harry
Liverpool.
Wilson. Brilliant youngster. Prosperous. I'll
Brooks
take
as
it.
well. There's that lady Brooks.
Nice,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah,
That's a
nice.
good choice.
David
That's
Brooks.
a good choice. Mm.
Ty, you need reinforcement. Who would you have?
Shit, out of those. Out
If
of
I had
those
more-
options, I can just go for Nathan Ake. That's the only one I can think of. Because all I
He's
need,
going
I need
City.
defense now.
It's going to
I-
City.
I saw that.
40 million. Can you believe that?
Mm,
Okay, for 40 million. No,
That's too much.
No.
It's too much.
That's too
no,
much.
I
it's
see.
way too much.
That's what I'm
For a
saying.
Didn't think about the other day,
40
Lewis
million.
Dunk was for 40 million.
Mm.
Never.
Yeah, he was 10 million when they heard United is in the running for him, so his price went overnight. 40 million overnight because
And
United's
you-
interested.
Who else?
Sorry, Devin.
I got another question for the
No.
Liverpool fans.
Sure.
Sure.
We still have 9 minutes, so we can go.
If you guys had to choose for a creative midfielder to bring into your team to change it up, who would you guys go for? Because I see you guys are linked with Thiago, or would you guys go for Thiago, or would you go a bit more closer to home in the Premier League? Would you go for someone like James Maddison or Grealish?
Look, okay, it's not a problem to go for those two English players, but I think the price tag that they put on the English players is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, if Grealish or Madison can come for 10 million, maybe max 20 million. Max 20
That's a
million.
bit low, that though.
Yeah,
Mm.
okay, it's 40.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Grealish is a bit more than
Just hear
that.
me out. Hull City was relegated. We got Robo for 8 million. Look where he is now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
So if those type of players, I think they make too much about them too soon, man. If like I think
Yeah, I get
Grealish
what you
will fit
mean.
quite
Get what you mean.
I think Grealish will fit quite at United, but 75 million, no, it's not worth it. Then that's why I would
To sit on the
rather,
bench.
yeah, that's why I would rather go with I'd pay 40 million for Thiago or take Coutinho for 9 million on loan. I think they will make a difference. Definitely.
But you see, that's the problem with the English Premier League compared to other leagues like the Spanish League. That's why in England, that can actually happen where a small team that's basically going to go nowhere, they can just overprice their players and then they can be like just set these astronomical fees. Whereas in Spain, that's why every player is forced to have a buyout clause in their contract because that's to bypass that. So you can't now sit at Aston Villa for the rest of your life. Yeah, Tottenham can just pay your buyout clause and they can sign you if they want to.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
100%. B, who would you have out of those relegated teams?
Oh, well, there were a few, but then it depends what positions you want to strengthen, because then I got like a Buendia if I wanted a midfielder there, creative midfielder. There's like Brooks. I can't say Wilson because he's not Bournemouth. He's going to go back to Liverpool. And then at Watford, after what I saw him do to us yesterday, Ismail Assar. There's no substitute for pace. No substitute for pace. And he can at least control the ball. He's not like Walcott, going to kick it there and then chase. I'm going to run at you and then beat you and then get to it. You check.
Walcott has
But other than
feet
that,
of a horse.
that's about it. I won't take Welbeck. I won't take Dini. I won't take Cleverly Hughes. None of those. Not even Ben
Shame, I
Foster.
forgot about Welbeck. Isn't he a championship striker next season?
Shame, man.
He was always a championship
Oh,
striker.
He
shame,
was
yeah.
always a championship player. He found his level now.
Sorry, Devin and Brennan, man. I didn't hear earlier you say something that if there was a player or I don't know if it's a few players that you would add to your team to change things up for next season, who would that be? Or which position would you need to add up?
Centre back, number one. Centre back.
Number one.
Centre back.
Who's the centre back out there now that you could add?
Upamecano, I want.
Gibson.
Yes.
I want
Upamecano is
Upamecano.
one.
If I can't get Upamecano, then I'd rather even go with a Tarkowski and a Dunk. If you want to be, if you want.
Guys can take Samuel Umtiti from me.
Nah, it's okay.
I'll take Umtiti. I'll take Umtiti.
Umtiti, that will give you a solid 12 games a season.
But you see, the thing is, it depends also what formation we are going to play. I like a coach who can change from going 3 at the back to 4 at the back and stuff like that. But you can't change the system and the personnel, the whole shebang. You can't do that. You can't do that. There's no consistency. I'm playing Holding, Kolasinac, Luiz. Next week, Socrates, Mustafi, Chambers. I'm changing the whole thing. No, you can't do that. The system
Yo,
and then
Brendan is
try
entertaining to watch. Brendan.
That's it.
You can't change
I'm changing the whole
thing.
shebang.
Change the whole shebang. No. It must be minor adjustments. And then you try it. If it don't work, I get that you can't keep it the same if it doesn't work. But then you change something, not the whole thing. No.
For me, Evan, I think we need to strengthen our spine. Thomas Partey. I don't think we mustn't mull over that transfer. We need someone that's combative, which is what I was actually going to allude to. If we don't get Partey, why not go for maybe a Decore of Watford?
Yes, that's another one. Yes,
that's a good option.
Different season as well. I don't like Oba out wide. I like Oba through the middle, so I'd also go with Ismail as well. Look for me.
So, you see, so if you want to play it like that, then you must play 2 strikers. Aubameyang and Lacazette.
And Laka, yeah.
Then we does Pepe play out wide.
No, Pepe can play behind them then.
Okay.
And number 10.
4-1-2.
Okay.
So yeah, but look,
Do you
like
think
I
you
said,
guys will survive if Aubameyang has to leave and you guys are forced to only sit with Lacazette? Or do you think Arsenal will sign someone else?
Look, you're always gonna miss those goals. You can't replace those goals. That's 25 goals a season guaranteed. You can't replace that. And how many top class strikers? If we're gonna replace them, we're gonna have to look at signing Lewandowski or Suarez or Ciro Immobile to replace that numbers. And that should only happen to FIFA. You know what I mean? So but that's it. Anything else anyone like to add? Devin, you have questions? Dane, do you have questions? There's still 2 minutes left.
That means no.
I think United can be strengthened enough. If they must really sign like a decent midfielder, I will go for Sol. If they must go in the market, I'll even trade Paul Pogba for Sol, just so that he can have a liquor understanding with they can speak Spanish or Portuguese days to each other in the midfield with Bruno Fernandes.
Alvarez of Atletico. Alvarez of Atletico, you talking about him?
Yeah.
Okay. Not a bad shot.
And a Cavani that's free. To give Marshall some competition.
He's linked with the Leeds United transfer now.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Not bad at all. Zlatan was linked with Leeds as well.
Both of them, yeah.
We must go to PSG and swap Aubameyang for the best striker in the world, Mauro Icardi. We just must make a swap deal. And I'm happy. I'm happy.
Are you mad? You guys don't want that kind of a player in your team. Can you imagine Arteta's already scanning one doozy? What are you gonna do with Icardi?
Man, he can stay there. He can come.
Yeah, Icardi is a bad egg. You guys don't need that.
And he must bring his forward.
But Nah, thanks. It was awesome having you guys on. We went for 2 hours. It didn't even feel like it. BL, see you later the week because we're gonna have our FA Cup preview as well.
I just want to ask just one question. I did forget. Black Lives Matter. You think they're gonna take the knee before every game from now on? Every game.
My question is, when is it gonna matter? I want to know. How long will it take? How long will it take?
Because I see even in the Grand Prix, some O's take the knee, some O's don't take the knee. Some O's are for it, but don't want to take the knee. Does that mean they are against it? It's a very touchy subject, but anyway, 2 hours up, like a gents.
Yes, Davino. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are out of here.
Thanks, Steven. See you, man.
See you, gents.
See you,